we are doing Beaver Pond Trail as a follow-up to yesterday's 11.5-mile hike up to the tunnel.
2,770 feet according to the newspaper.
Yeah,
my watch said 2,300, but
which was brutal. But anyway, this is episode 109 of RV Dream Makers, and we are at Glacier. Let me give you a surrounding here. Our favorite place in the world, and we're doing a hike here called Beaver Pond. It's only 3.5 miles, but
just an easy walk, so we're not super sore.
Yeah, we got to get rid of our soreness from yesterday's crazy hike. We hadn't done Ptarmigan Tunnel in 10 years. But anyway, in this episode, we had just left home and headed north on June 10th and went to Sioux Falls, South Dakota to get our driver's license renewed. And we stayed at a Cabela's at Council Bluffs the night before, and then went to Sioux Falls and stayed at a fairground. So I got some fairground footage and then all about Sioux Falls. So we hope you enjoy this episode. Okay, we are in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and we are staying at the W.H. Lyon Fairgrounds. It's only $40 a night, full hookups. You can see people down through there. There's the Cackleys right next to us. So there's ground squirrels everywhere here. Fluffers is trying to get them. But we're going to be here for 2 days because we decided to stay an extra day because it's supposed to be so hot tomorrow and we want to be plugged in. We are here to get our license renewed since we're in South Dakota. So anyway, nice area. There's fluffers over there walking along the fence. There, you can see there's a ground squirrel right there sticking up. There's some down there on the road playing around and stuff. They're all over the place. So all right, nice area. Temperature's not bad today right now. Okay, we are in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and we are in Falls Park. So, me, Michelle, and Gloria went here in 2013. And now it's me, Michelle, and the Cackleys. It's right in the middle of town. And you can see how big it is. It's a lot of layers, big area. We'll have to go look up in that tower if it doesn't cost to go up there. Okay, going right through the middle of town. People are walking out there. Different viewing areas from every side. Looks like an old fort or something over there, doesn't it? Let's see what this says. The Sioux quartz site, deposited more than 1 billion years ago, is among the oldest rock exposed in South Dakota. The quartz site and associated pipestone deposits were known to white men as early as 1822, but the American Indian used pipestone centuries earlier to make ornaments and utensils. The Sioux quartzite consists of thick beds of silica cemented quartz sandstone, the grains of which were deposited and rounded by wave action on the floor of an ancient continental sea. This fact is illustrated by laminations and ripple marks preserved in the quartzite. The density of the rock resulting from cementation and compaction makes it very resistant to erosion, as shown by the falls. At this site, the Big Sioux River has been flowing in its present course here for about 10,000 years. In pioneers' days, this rock was the principal building and paving material in this area. At the present time, its use as an aggregate in concrete constitution makes the Sioux quartzite an important natural resource of eastern South Dakota. Huh. So I guess all that's that quartzite. The lure of the falls. For as long as humans have inhabited this area, they have been attracted by the falls. Rumors about these falls drew early American explorers. The sound of the falls could once be heard for several miles around. The sound, smell, and sight of the water crashing against the rocks entertains visitors, bringing them closer to nature. The falls have inspired letters and poetry. They have been the subject of paintings and postcards. Stereotypes like the one on the left, or stereographs like the one on the left, were viewed with a special type of glasses. When you looked at the photograph through the viewer, which you held in front of your eyes, the image seemed three-dimensional. This stereograph is an early image of the falls before the banks of the river were lined with trees and industries. Since early settlement days, the falls were a popular attraction, and stenographs of the falls allow visitors to recall its magnificent scenery. There goes Michelle. Okay, there's Bill and Tracy out there with Michelle. Hopefully my wife does not slip on any rocks. Got a good view of the falls. There's Bill, Tracy, and Michelle out there. Got a good view of the falls here. Cut through here. I guess when it's really flooding and a lot of rain, I guess this whole area is filled up too. Be interesting to see what those are over there. More reading down there. Hazel O'Connor. With a pioneer spirit, Hazel O'Connor has continually led the way toward a better Sioux Falls. One of her many special concerns has been the Big Sioux River in the falls, the city's namesake. As a leader of the City Federation of Women's Clubs, she urged the restoration of Falls Park and continues to be its greatest champion as a charter member of the River Improvement Society. She has worked for the realization of today's Big Sioux River Greenway. Her vision, perseverance, and dedication is an inspiration for her generation and for future generations to preserve the quality of life in Sioux Falls. Without water, there will be no river. More important, without water, there will be no life. Hazel O'Connor, 1977. Huh. The late Wisconsin Glacier was no ordinary sheet of ice. The glacier was 1 mile thick and it stretched from eastern Ohio to the Missouri River. It caused North America's most recent ice age about 14,000 years ago. As the glacier pushed south, it ran into a highland plateau called the Coteau des Prairies. The ice couldn't overrun the Coteau and was forced to split in two, with some ice going east and some going west. The eastern flow is called the Des Moines Lobe. The western ice flow, which followed the James Lowland, is called the James Lobe. The James Lobe covered most of eastern South Dakota, stopping its westward push at the Missouri River. As the glacier moved southward around the Coteau, it covered the area that's now Sioux Falls. This mountain of ice blocked the southerly flow of the ancestral Big Sioux River and meltwater from the glacier. As the glacier melted, its meltwater joined with the Big Sioux River. The water found a trough or low area in the surface of the bedrock and created its newest, I lost my place. Created its new course, forming the giant S-curve that flows through Sioux Falls. The meltwater also eroded sediment covering the bedrock. Where there were high ridges or outcroppings of bedrock in places like Falls Park, meltwater dramatically exposed the Sioux quartz. Okay, we're on the bridge now. Me and Michelle. Get the view down here. Want to take a selfie? Okay, we're going to take a selfie. Philander Prescott. Various explorers may have visited the falls of the Big Sioux River in the 17th and 18th centuries, but there is no definite proof. An early state historian, Doan Robinson, believed that Charles Le Sueur had visited the falls as early as 1683. The first Euro-American who recorded his visit to the falls was Philander Prescott in December 1832, an American fur company trader. He came west from the Minnesota River with two French trappers and a party of Sioux Indians. The men set up a trading post on the Big Sioux River near present-day Flandreau. Seeking food for the winter, the Sioux Indians found little game and left for a village of Omaha Indians located on the Missouri River. Prescott, with two men and a two-wheeled horse cart, followed the Sioux and camped overnight near this spot. The next day they continued south for another 40 miles before deciding that further pursuit of the Sioux was useless. Turning back, they camped here a second night before returning to their Flandreau trading post. Prescott was killed at the Minnesota Lower Sioux Agency during the 1862 Dakota conflict.
Mill. This was a mill.
Oh, this was a mill?
Yep.
Hive of the Queen City. The falls were at the heart of the young city of Sioux Falls, nicknamed the Queen City. The Queen Bee Mill stood at the most powerful point of the falls and was a center of activity in the 1880s. The Queen Bee Mill was sited to take full advantage of the power possessed by the falls. The mill was unusually large and its equipment was the most advanced available. Completed in 1881, the mill included a 7-story building which housed the milling machinery, a 100,000 bushel grain elevator, a warehouse that could hold 10,000 barrels, a turbine house, a gatehouse, and a copper shop where barrels were made. It was equipped to produce 1,200 barrels of flour a day, which is about 4 times the amount made by a typical Midwest flour mill. Producing this much flour required a large, reliable supply of water and wheat. Usually there was too little water and too little wheat, so the Queen Bee Mill never made the amount of flour expected. It closed after 2 years of operation. The mill resold several times to investors who believed that the mill could be profitably operated. Most owners abandoned their plans before even reopening the mill. The building burned in 1956, leaving only a charred shell. The top 5 floors were later removed. The first and second stories stand as a reminder of the ambitious vision of Sioux Falls' early business leaders. The steps in the milling process. Oh, that's... The changing of global sea levels over millions of years was a major factor in determining the ancient geography of Minnehaha County. Through much of geological time, salty, warm water seas covered the interior of the United States. During the late Cretaceous period, 65 to 80 million years ago, rising ocean levels several times produced flooding that created inland seaways extending from the Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic Circle. These seas divided North America into 2 parts. The highest elevations of the Sioux Quartzsite Ridge became exposed islands with irregular shorelines containing shallow, quiet water bays. Sediments laid down in these bays contained fossils of wood plant imprints, carbonized plant fragments, tiny mollusks, and fish parts. During the Ice Age, these deposits were buried by glacial drift. Several exposures of the ancient bay deposits may be seen at points where the Big Sioux River, Split Rock Creek, and Slip Up Creek have eroded through the glacial overburden. Okay, we are at the top. It's a nice climb of stairs. Get your heart pumping. Now you got a good view of the whole falls. Down the rest of the river. Whew. Nice climb. I don't know what that barn looking place is like, but we're 8 stories up. Nice little park over there. Okay, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. We got a ton of stuff. It is July 11th? Yes, July 11th. We are at Glacier. So this was a month ago, and we got a lot. So we got a lot to do. Michelle forgot her phone, so she's got to go back to the truck and get it. It's also a brand new phone that she got when we were in Billings. She wanted to get a better phone with a better camera, with A lot more memory was the big thing. And pretty much it. I'll show you the surroundings here while Michelle's going back to the, ooh, she's running. So anyway, remember, God loves you, but only Jesus could save you.